Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Online Racing League Season 12 Split B for Round 2 here at the circuit of Monza in Tuscany, Italy. The 8-round championship is Season 12 of ORL, and the winner from last time out, Jan Feller, is taking part here for Round 2 to cement his position as a man at the top of the standings. He currently leads the championship ahead of Andinator, who is ahead of Ballas Kevin. Viho is in 4th ahead of Flexes Marcy. Verstappen 6th, MDCEO 7, Palofutes in 8th, Zen Arme in 9th, with Ripson being the final man to beat the points last time out at Suzuka. We're already a couple of minutes into qualifying, so I apologize that I wasn't able to bring the very beginning of qualifying to you. But it does mean that we are able to get right into the thick of the action here at Monza. Hope you're all doing very well this fine evening. I am your commentator, Yusuf Milky Cereal Bin Sahel. It's going to be my pleasure to bring you this, which should be an absolutely fantastic race for those of you who missed Season 11 of ORL here at Monza. There was an absolutely chaotic start, which saw, if I'm not mistaken, Triton Lehman and Velocity Hypers coming together on the straight down into Ascari on lap 1. Big accident, loads of drivers into the pits at the end of the lap, and it saw Hypers DNFing from the session. So let's see who we can sit on board with for a lap. Flexes Marcy, he is currently on a lap in the McLaren. McLaren currently sit at 4th in the championship, courtesy of Flexes Marcy's 5th place result back at Suzuka. Verstappen takes provisional pole with a 19.2 ahead of Hueni, but of course, you have to watch out for the likes of Ballas Kevin and Nathan Jan Feller as Flexes Marcy into the wall. He loses it through Ascari, and that is awful news for Flexes Marcy. Gelber 1, he's going to come. He's about to start a lap. Ballas Kevin is at the top. Triton Matthias is also racing tonight. Let's see what MDCO can do. And actually, as I say that, let's go and take a quick look at the replay of that incident. So, riding on board with Flexes Marcy, coming down into Ascari, drops it down into 4th gear on the power, and he just takes too much curb on the exit and runs into the wall. And that is how Flexes Marcy's qualifying session has ended. Awful news for him. Now I'm just scrolling through. Where is our main man, Mr. Jan Feller? I'm guessing he's not racing under the name Jan Feller, so I'm going to have to work out who he is. I'm guessing it's Zoltis, potentially. I don't know, it's the only one I can think of. Unless it's Tarabukin, but I doubt it, because Tarabukin is currently almost a second off Ballas Kevin's time, which is not what you would expect from an esports level driver. Now, who is on a lap? Let's sit on board with Gelber 1, making his way into the final corner. The infamous Parabolica. Gelber 1 runs wide, and I think that will invalidate his time. But let's take a look across the line. 19.9. Gelber 1 goes P11, last of all the runners so far. Wave, I'm sure, will be entering the pits. Yeah, most likely. MDCO, he's going to be heading into the pits as well this lap. So, let's sit on board with the Bird. Again, another B-split driver from Season 11. He was teammates with Black Panther in the Williams, and they were able to pick up the Constructors' Championship together. But it's been a big jump from Season 11 to Season 12 in terms of the caliber of drivers in Split B. I would actually argue that the current caliber of drivers in Split B is stronger than the top split back in Season 9 of ORL. So it's a very strong split, and the likes of the Bird and Panther, who are running at the front in pretty much every race of Season 11 Split B, will find themselves struggling a little bit more, and that was indeed the case for Black Panther. Last time out at Japan, was only able to manage a P15. I just wanted to double check something. As the bird is going to come diving into the pits. Also, hello to Mr. Callum Teasdale, Motorsport Game, and Dominic Sokolovsky. Sokolovsky or Sokolowski? I'm pretty sure the W's hard, right? Anyway, Mr. Balash Kevin is on his outlap, and we've got a fan of Mr. Camille Come but Camille is not in the lobby, it seems, unless he has changed his username. Someone I do want to watch out for is Mr. Palafutes. I've had the pleasure of commentating on him back in AOR Split 2, and he's a very quick driver, right up there with Balash Kevin, but it's his race pace that just seems to struggle that little bit, and he just drops that 1/10 to 2/10 a lap to the likes of Kevin Andinator and Matthias. So let's see if Palafutes can find that little bit extra bit of pace here at Monza for ORL round 2 of season 12. Raving to the title music. Right. Title music shouldn't be on. It should be my voice, but maybe there are some issues going on. The question is, am I live? Okay, yes I am. It's all working now, cool. I was getting worried because I was looking at my phone which had YouTube up, and I couldn't see anything, so I must have had Split B open. Never mind. I must have had the Split A1 open. Never mind. Let's continue with the action here at Monza. 8 minutes and 50 seconds remaining of the session. Palafutes is the man we're riding on board with in the Ferrari in front of the Tifosi. Palafutes 2/10 up through Sector 2. He clips the curve, but unlike Flex's Mars, he does not run into the wall. And he's got his teammate Squibby to give him a beautiful tow on the backside. This is really going to help out Palafutes, who makes his way down into the Parabolica. Misses the apex by a tiny bit. That might cost him a 10th or so. He uses up all of the track on the exit. Stretch out those revs up into 8th gear across the line. 19.1 for Palafutes, the Hungarian man. But it is Balash Kevin who leads from Matthias and Leonard in 3rd. Speaking of Matthias, he has just completed a lap, I believe, 18.58, 800th shy of Balash Kevin in the Mercedes. Oh, Leonard is into the gravel. I think he's just getting out of everyone's way through Curva Grande. Who else can we sit on board with? Verstappen, he was sitting at the top of the standings when we started the qualifying session, but no more. Can we ally on board with? Gelber one is about to start a lap. Panpernick and the Bird are on their outlaps. Let's sit on board with MDCO. He is a man who isn't too shabby. As I say that, he goes onto the grass just a little bit, but ERS mode is currently in 0, so CEO will not be pushing too hard. And he's going to be heading into the pits. Verstappen, he's just cutting the course. Beef and Palafutes. So Beef is not on a lap. He's 2 seconds down. What about Leonard? Nope. So no one's on a lap. Cool. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, the Bird, he's just started his lap, making his way through Curva Grande now, down into the Roger chicane. 1 second down on his personal best is the Bird. Actually, just at 20.7, so the Bird definitely needs to head on into the pits, grab a set of soft tyres and try to get as close to that top 10 or into the top 10 as he can. Of course, drivers in the top 10 will have to start on the compound of tyres that they qualified on, so the ideal situation is to qualify somewhere around P7, so you get that fresh tyres, or just start right up at the front if you are a pro gamer like Balash Kevin and Triton Matthias. And he's on a lap 3,000 down through Sector 1 as he makes his way into Lesmo 1, nice and tidy. Down into a fourth gear, back on the power, using up all of the track on the exit of Lesmo 2. And Nater makes his way down the hill now into the Ascari chicane. 4/10 up. This is a quick lap from Nater, and it might be enough to put him ahead of Balash Kevin. It's a clean runner through Ascari, and it's just Parabolica remaining. Mode 4 ERS quicker than Mode 5 in gears 7 and 8. 50-meter border down into fourth gear, 180 kilometers an hour, back on the power, let the car out, and now shortest line to the start-finish line. What's it going to be? 18.6, but it is invalidated, and Andinator will stay P6 for now. What about Scrippy, though? He is 700th down on his personal best. He makes his way through the Roger chicane into Lesmo 1, crisps out wide ever so slightly into Lesmo 2. Will it be a slightly cleaner affair? Yes, it will be. On the power beautifully. Open up that DRS, and now let's see what that Sector 2 Delta time is looking like. If he's ahead of his teammate Paolo Futes, who he gave a beautiful slipstream on his last one, but Scrippy just runs wide into Ascari. Not sure how much that would have cost him, but I'm sure we'll find out as he makes his way down into Parabolica. Balash Kevin is on a flying lap, and that will be his final of the race. You can see him making his way through the Retifilio chicane, and Scrippy shortest line, finish line, and Scrippy goes P4 with a 118.87, 100th shy of Iron Wave in third. But Balash Kevin is improving. He's 1/10 up through Sector 1, using up all of the track on the exit of the Roche chicane into Lesmo 1. Cleaner affair as Tarabukin goes a P3 for the Haas team. That is a good showing so far from them. Soltis is in the 13th. Maybe he can up the game for Haas. But Balash Kevin down into Ascari, still 1.5 tenths up. Take as much curb as you dare without getting a corner cut. Penalty sideways on the exit of Ascari. He just takes a little bit too much curb through the left-hander. Now Balash Kevin drops it down into fourth gear, 180 miles an hour, and back on the power. Keep that minimum speed up as high as you possibly can. Shortest run to the line. Is it going to improve? Yes, it will. 118.36 up for the Mercedes man. Harabukin might just about have enough time to make his way back to the pits, do an outlap, and start a new lap. Who else is on a lap? Soltis, he has just improved. He's gone P8, so it's 3-8 for Haas at the moment. What about Beef? Beef is going to be heading into the pits at the end of this lap. Bushsteppen's not on a lap. He's going to be diving into the pits. 19.2 was his lap, so a little bit shy of that 10th place spot. What about Black Panther, though? Your second place man from season 11 split B of ORL makes his way through the final corner. It's not a good run. Panther's going to dive into the pit, but I want to ride on board with this man, the Bird, who in my opinion was the fastest driver in a split B last season. After I can't remember what his name, that we had a Japanese driver who was very quick. But Bird was the quickest after him, but neither of them took part in the entire season, which is why they didn't win the championship. But Bird is a few tenths up through Sector 2. He's got to pick up a lovely slipstream from the racing point of Leonard. He'll get well out of the way into Parabolica. Bird down to 177 kilometers an hour, so doesn't keep that minimum speed as high as the likes of Balash Kevin, but Bird across the line, 19.7, and that's only enough for 18th place, and behind Panther and ahead of Fakir. Speaking of Fakir, he is on a lap, but it just doesn't look clean. I think he's on a controller, actually, and he's going to lose a back end and spins it right around. So Hueni is a couple of tenths up, and those 2 tenths could take him all the way up to P10. Padlofutis, I'm still expecting a lot from him. Undernator's on a lap, as is Iron Wave, so we'll ride on board with Hueni and then switch our focus. I think Iron Wave is that Iron Wave ahead? No, that's Fakir. Iron Wave is making his way down into the Roger chicane, but Hueni through a scurry, he takes that curb. We've seen drivers take that curb and end up in the wall, namely Flex's and Marcy, but no incidents for Hueni so far in the Alfa Romeo down into the Parabolica. Misses the apex a tiny bit. Drop down into the 170s in terms of speed. Hueni will come across the line. What's it going to be? 19.2, and that is P12 for the Alpha, but will not be able to improve upon that as Andinator makes his way into Ascari, but Iron Wave is just a little bit further ahead. Andinator has improved slightly. Look how close it is from 4th all the way to 8th and 10th, separating 5 drivers. That is absolutely insane, but can Iron Wave increase the gap from 4th to 8th? Can he get himself in the top 3? No, he cannot. He dives into the pits. So it's all on Andinator now. What can he do across the line? Andinator goes to P2 for Toro Rosso, a 118.511. But Triton Matthias, such a quick driver, is a Triton buddy and Polish compatriot. Lehman is not here tonight, and we saw these two having some almighty battles last season, namely back at Brazil for round 20 of the championship, where they made contact on the final lap. Didn't affect anything too much. They still finished position to position. Matthias makes his way down the straight now into the Ascari chicane. Let's see what that sector 2 delta is like. 600ths up, and that's going to be enough to just about jump ahead of Andinator. Matthias cutting as much curb as he can through Ascari. I'm not sure if that's going to invalidate his time. It's going to be close. Tarabukin, he's backed out of his lap, so he's not going to be improving. Andinator, we've already seen him complete his lap. Grippy surely has more. Padlafutes is on a lap as well. But all about Triton Matthias now across the line, 118.4, but it is invalidated. Padlafutes goes to P5. Grippy is 100th up, but he doesn't have the DRS activated. Who else can we ride on board with? Soltis is 300ths down right now. Verstappen goes to P5, so a great lap from the McLaren driver. But what can Soltis do? If he can just find a couple of hundredths, he could make it into the top 10, but I don't think Soltis will want to, because P11 is a much better place to start from than P10. And that will be the end of qualifying here for round 2 of season 12, a split B of ORL. And it is a Balash Kevin who will line up on a pole ahead of Andinator in the Toro Rosso, with Matthias and Tarabukin completing the second row of the grid. Is Leonard on a lap? Leonard is on a lap. He's going to pick up... Wait, no, he's not. Okay, never mind. I was rather confused there. He was still pushing, so... I was just wondering why, considering he's starting based on those sides. Leonard has a 5-place grid penalty. He's not going to be happy about that, so it will be MDCO who is promoted to the top at 10. So, a pretty crazy qualifying session, but it is Balash Kevin who will line up on the front row of the grid alongside the German man Andinator. Both of these are 2 Split A drivers from season 11, along with Matthias as well. Those are the 3 Split A drivers. I think Leonard was Split A as well last season. And Palafutis is definitely going to be a driver to watch out for. He finished... Where did he finish again? He finished back in 8th place, but I know the man has a lot of pace behind him, and as do all Hungarians, seemingly. But as we get ready for the race, let me know down in the chat who you guys think will be able to take the cookie and pick up the win. And, you know, for some bonus points, why don't you let me know what you think the entire top 3 will be. For myself, ooh, what do we want to go with? I think I'm going to go with Balash Kevin to win. And I'm going to go right out there. I'm going to say Palafutes to pick up a second place ahead of Andinator to round out the podium. I'm probably going to be completely wrong, but let's see if you guys have a little bit better luck than me in the chat. As we get ready for the formation lap here for round 2 of Split B. Balash Kevin lines up on a pole ahead of Andinator. Matthias and Tarabukin make the second row of the grid. Verstappen finished 6th the last time out in Japan, and he starts 1 place higher for Monza. Palafutes finished 8th, starts 2 places higher for Monza. I'm Wave in 7th ahead of Scrippy. MDCO and Saltius complete the top 10. Beef lines up in 11th ahead of Zen Ame, who is a very quick driver, but he does have issues from time to time. When he starts P13 ahead of Leonard, who would have been starting P9 if it wasn't for a 5-place grid penalty he got after the qualifying session had ended weirdly enough. Delba Wanda starts in 15th ahead of Pana Pernick, with Black Panther and Birds, 2 of the strongest drivers from Split B. Back in Season 11, they're all the way at the back of the grid, with Fakir and Flexus Marcy at the very back of the grid. Flexus Marcy spinning on the exit of Ascari right at the start of qualifying, seeing him being unable to complete a lap. In the championship standings, Jan Feller leads from Andinator, Balash Kevin, Vito, Flexus Marcy in 5th, Verstappen 6th, CEO in 7th, Palafutes in 8th, then Ame in 9th with Rip SN in 10th, and in the Constructors' Championship, Toro Rosso lead the way on 18 points ahead of Mercedes by just 1 point. Racing Point are a further 5 points behind on 12 points ahead of McLaren, who are in 4th on just 10 points. Verstappen is the one carrying the flag forward for the McLaren team, but Tarabukin will be looking to pick up some big points for Haas, and don't count out the Ferraris of Palafutes and Scrippy in 6th and 8th place. Toro Rosso is, of course, Andinator and Beef, with the Mercedes boys being Balash Kevin and Zen Ame. So, with that said and done, let's take a quick look, shall we, at the tyres that everyone's starting on. Top 11 all on softs. Then Ame, Black Panther, Bird and Flexus Marcy on the mediums. But it is a time to go racing here for round 2 of a Split B. And it's a lights out and away we go. Well, not quite yet. It's a very good start from the McLaren of Verstappen. You can just see him in the corner of your shot. Look at that pull away. He's already alongside Matthias, heading down into turn 1. It's not a good start from Andinator, who tries to hold the inside. Round the outside goes Matthias, and that's Andinator going sideways. That's really going to cost him, and that promotes Matthias up into 2nd place. But it's a heroic start from Verstappen, who climbs 2 places up into 3rd. Einwaver climbs up into 4th. As we mentioned, Andinator not with the best of starts. Tarabukin going to have a look round the outside into the Roche chicane, but that never works. And that's going to be Palafutes, who gets the better run on the exit into the Lesmo 1. Palafutes up into 6th place. Tarabukin 7th ahead of his Haas teammate of Saltis, Scrippy and Beef complete the top 10. Wave on the back of Verstappen as we make our way down into the Ascari chicane for the first time. Wave very late on the brakes, and that's going to compromise him a little bit on the exit. And Andinator could start just licking his lips just that little bit, but Palafutes is looking strong. He's already picked up a few good positions. We've got a yellow flag already for what I am not sure. Flexus Marcy and Fakir are at the back of the circuit. Will anyone dive into the pits? Who knows, because Andinator is on the back of Wave. Wave will not go defensive. Andinator will look down the inside, and he will coast nice and slowly past the Red Bull racing car. But Wave holds it around the outside of the Retifilio chicane and holds on to P5 for now. But Tarabukin is right on the back of Palafutes, as we have quite a few battles across attack. Palafutes goes for the outside through Curva Grande. He's got the inside into the Roche chicane. You can see Andinator looking down the inside up ahead, and he makes it work. Andinator upper place as Tarabukin runs wide. He takes too much curb, and that is Scrippy is looking for the outside into Lesmo2. Not going to be able to make it work. Scrippy holds on to 9th place for now. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2 as Scrippy taps the back as we have a safety car. So what has caused that safety car? I think it might have been then a contact with someone potentially has caused this safety car. Now the question is, Balish Kevin, does he come into the pits on the soft tyres? And the mediums won't make it to the end. The hards can make it to the end though. And if I was Balish Kevin, I would be considering putting on some hard tyres. Let's see what Balish Kevin wants to do. No pits from Mr. Kevin. Stefan Andinator will dive into the pits, and Ironwaver follows him in. Who else comes in along? Tarabukin follows suit. Anyone else? The Racing Point of Pana Pernick, as well as a Beef and Hueni. A Bird and a Panther also come in. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the drivers almost respond. None of the pit crews are out. This is very strange. There aren't any pit crews out in the garage, and everyone has just ended up doing a drive-through penalty almost. How bizarre. And I'm just wondering, we did have the red lights out for a very long time before the race starts, and Iron Wave is somehow leading the race. And we've got a bit of a desync. And it's almost like all of the drivers who... I'm very, very confused right now. It's almost like all of the drivers who went through the pits didn't register on the splits or something like that. But something I want to mention is we saw Verstappen get an absolutely insane start. He almost jumped the lights. But he hasn't had to serve any drive-through penalty. I mean, you can't serve a drive-through penalty under safety car conditions. Now, safety cars coming in already. I didn't even see the notification pop up because we keep getting the migrating host notification. But Balish Kevin's not... Are we racing? He was weaving all the way up to the line, so... The safety car's still there. So we've got the safety car issue now where everyone just overtakes the safety car. But they're not actually pushing. Matthias now leads the race. Well, I mean, we've got a crazy scene here at Monza. That's all that you can say right now. I'm just going to open up my Steam, just in case I get a notification about the lobby being made. Because right now, I think that might be the most sensible option. So, okay, right, let's run through the grid order. Verstappen leads from Matthias, from Balish Kevin. And everyone is leaving the session, I think. Yeah, okay, so we're going to be getting a lobby remake, which is fantastic news for all of the top 10. It's also fantastic news for Leonard as well, because if you remember, Leonard had a 5-place grid penalty going into the race, so that will now get removed, which means that he will start back in P9. So that's a fantastic news for Leonard. It's also fantastic news for everyone in the top 10, because it means that they get to start on a fresh set of soft tyres rather than a more worn set of soft tyres. And I can't remember who, but someone finished P11, and they could have pushed and got into 10th place, but they decided against it so that they could have that fresh set of tyres. They will still get that free choice of tyres, but they do miss out on the set of tyres. I think what we're going to do is we're going to head into a short break, and we'll be back though with the action from the race when it gets remade. The thing is, not everyone has left the session. So, is the race still going on? I'm really confused. I want to take us to a break because I'm fairly certain that we're going to get a remake. It'd make absolutely no sense if we just continue with the race from here. Panther's just left the session, and he will remake the lobby most likely. So I'm just going to see if I get any message from him now. I mean, I did say Palafutis was going to get a top 10. Also, just going to mention some conspiracies here. 2 Ferraris in the top 3. Are Codemasters scripted? That's all I want to bring up. I just want to bring up the possibility of it. No one... Okay, so we are going to be starting the race. Thank you for that info, Balish Kevin. Well, hopefully we get another clean start as we did in race 1, let's say. But I guess there is no real need to keep that open. So on that note, guys, we're going to be heading into a short break. So maybe grab some snacks, take a quick toilet break. We'll be back in a few minutes time with the remake of the lobby. And hopefully we can get underway and complete the race for round 2 of ORL Season 12 Split. Stay tuned. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are ready to get underway for attempt 2, let's say. Hopefully there'll be no attempt 3. Now, the last time I remember there being an attempt, and actually an attempt 3, was back at Suzuka last season for Split A. I was commentating with Byron Villa at the time, and had an issue. We had to remake the lobby, then we had to do it again, and we had one of the best races all season long. Leopard versus Formula Danny all race long. It was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen the highlights, make sure to check those out after this race. So in fact, you know, while we've got a bit of a delay, go and quickly take a look at that while we head into our formation lap. Honestly, it was such a fantastic race between one of the best esports drivers and someone who I would say is an up and coming driver. So an absolutely fantastic race between Leopard and standing there. And Fortune decided to get his nose in as well, and it was just absolutely awesome. So hopefully we're in for something similar here at Monza. Of course, still a 50% race, no changes there as the drivers line up on the grid. I'm going to do something cheeky here. Oh, wait. Never mind. I already had it up. Aren't I clever? Well, I was until I didn't get it right. So let's take a look at the tyre options coming through from all the drivers. It is going to be softs for everyone with the exception of 3. Then Ame goes on to the medium tyres, as does Flex's Marcy, and the Bird is for some reason starting from last. And the key has been promoted. See, Flex's Marcy was last before. The grid order is wrong. The grid order is wrong, guys. Flex's Marcy should not be ahead of Panpernick and Bird. Flex's Marcy was last with Fakir in 19th. And then it was Bird in 18th, Panther in 17th. So I have no idea what's going on. And why they've got the wrong grid order. Everything seems right up to about 14, I want to say. But after that, it's just kind of gone to the wind. So I'm not sure if there were some weird grid penalties that have been applied or something odd, but hey, here we are. Let's just take it as it is. Now, race 1, we saw Verstappen get absolutely insane run off the lights, and he found himself actually P2 going into turn 1. He came out of it in P2. Now, I'm going to change my prediction to Balash Kevin winning, Matthias in 2nd. Actually, I'm going to go with Matthias winning from Balash Kevin from Adler Futis. I think Andinator will take P4. As Balash Kevin lines up on that front row of the grid ahead of Andinator, Matthias and Tarabu can complete the second row of the grid, but keep an eye on that orange McLaren of Verstappen. Let's see what he can pull out from the start. 27 formation laps, if only. What a race that would be. Absolutely incredible. But it looks like it is the time to get underway as we wait for the light. Andinator's Toro Rosso is bouncing in excitement. The lights are out on our screen, but we're not racing just yet. We wait for the revs to rise. When is it coming? We've already got a yellow flag somehow. And all the cars are stationary. Oh, good job. Good job, Flexis. Wow, why would you park in a dangerous location? Don't you know you shouldn't be stationary on the grid when the lights have gone out? Well, I mean, we said 27 formation laps, but we might just have 27 standstill laps right now. So, how was your Saturday, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know what you guys were doing. How are you spending your self-isolation time in difficult scenarios? I honestly don't know what to say right now. I'm just looking at this and laughing. I don't want to say anything. I just want to sit quietly and observe these cars in their natural habitat. Oh, Andinator! He jump started! Andinator, you can't do that. You got to wait for the lights to go out. Oh, wait, they have gone out. Oh. Oh, and does this mean we can actually go racing now? Okay, it's lights out and away we go, I guess. I'm not sure what's happened. Matthias is off. He lines up behind Balash Kevin. And Nate is the one who leads the race. Matthias looks for the outside into turn one. I think he's going to make it work as well. Balash Kevin holds it around the outside. And look at Tarabukin. He gets a drive out of turn two. Panthers left the session. I think we're going to be remaking once again. Maybe attempt 3 will be the trick. Einwave and Paolo Fute side by side. Someone's into the wall. That's a Ferrari. And that's the Scrippy out. A big accident coming in. Hopefully we can catch it in our replay. VSC coming out, which means it's a perfect time to take a quicker look at that incident. So here we go. Matthias doesn't get the best of runs. And just in the corner of your shot, you're going to see the Ferrari. They're two Ferrari sandwich. Oh, and that's the force racing point of Leonard getting squeezed across. And that's what happened there. As Verstappen's under pressure. Never mind, we're still under virtual safety car. But we're back racing, I guess. Matthias on the back of Tarabukin. And Balash Kevin, he's just checked out. Where's Andernator? Oh, they're both ghosting, so who knows what's going on. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Andernator sets fast enough for the race, obviously, because he crosses the line first. But I think Tarabukin and Matthias is what is the effective battle for the win. How is Andernator 27 seconds ahead? Matthias looks for the inside down into turn 1. Matthias will pick up the position down behind. You can see Wave on the inside of Padlov Futes, but Matthias and Tarabukin still side by side as Wave cuts through the corner. Padlov Futes will pick up P6, so Wave are down another position. And now Verstappen's going to have a go around the outside of Tarabukin into the Roger chicane. He runs wide though, and Tarabukin's going to get the better exit. Picks up the position. Also, take a look at Padlov Futes. He could look for the inside. No, he decides against it, and probably the sensible option there for the Ferrari man. Fakir has left the session. Padlov Futes could have had a little Lewis Hamilton think down into Lesmo too. Remember back to, what was it, 2009 Italy? Where Hamilton was in the McLaren and Rubens Barrichello in the battle for second place, and I think it saw Hamilton spin as we have a safety car. Oh! Matthias spins under safety car conditions. And everyone's leaving the session. Oh, God. I was supposed to have finished commentating by now and be eating dinner. Should I eat dinner while commentating? Oh. So, here we are. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Milk is here. What can we do right now? Good old Cody is helping us out. Hopefully, race 3 will go slightly better than race 1 and 2. I mean, to be honest, we're currently halfway through the championship. We've already had, what, 3 races now? And there's, what, 8 rounds, 8 races in the season. So, you know, one more of that, and there we go. You know, so thank you for that, Blaine. Nice switchback. It's what I like to do, you know, practicing those horror movies. You think you're watching something related to F1, and then bang, in my face. And everything changes. If I had my good old man Aladar here with me, we'd be talking about the chances of getting a multiple nationality podium. So let's take a look at some of the nationalities of drivers on the grid, because that is the most interesting thing that we can talk about at the present time. So for Hungary, we have Scrippy, Padlov Futes, Fakir, Flexes Marcy, and Balash Kevin. Now Balash Kevin we know is insanely fast. Scrippy's quick in the Ferrari, as is Padlov Futes. Could we get 2 Ferraris on the podium here at Monza? It is possible. Now, Flexes Marcy, he's a driver. He's hit and miss. You never know. One race he might be insanely fast at the front. Another race he might be spinning every other corner and towards the back of the grid. No hate towards Flexes, but he is a little bit inconsistent. Now, let's go with our second nationality. That is going to be German. We have Gelberwand. We have Leonard. And we have Ironwave. Ironwave starting from 4th place, if I'm not mistaken. There are 3 Germans, so it's going to be hard to get a 3-man German podium, but it's possible. Then Ame is the only Italian driver on the grid. We've only got 1 Brit, which is the Bird, and myself, but I'm not racing. Hey ho. Who else have we got? We've got some Poles. We've got Hueni. We've got Matthias. Unfortunately, Triton Lehman's not here. I'm not sure if Lehman's in Split A. If he is, the Triton is going to be very sad about being split up from each other. I know they are, they're best friends, without a doubt. We have 1 Russian and 1 Frenchman. So maybe we could get, I don't know. My interesting stats are I've got nothing left for you guys. Is always the chances of it going to be a Hungarian top 3. Split A would have been German. You've got like the likes of Krugix, Andinator, Brownie. Used to have Leopard as well, and Leonard back last year. Also, no, Zones was Polish. Had a few Polish drivers since A. Poles, Germans, and Hungarians. That seems to be online racing right now. So if you are Hungarian, Polish, or German, make sure to join. And if you aren't, join anyway. Hey ho. If you haven't already, you can hit ORL up with a follow on Twitter. Wait, I have a plan for this. Are you guys ready for this? Hang on. Allow me. There, over there, you can see the ORL Twitter. Make sure to follow ORL on Twitter at team_ORL. And you can also check me out, Yusuf Milky Cereal Bin Sahel on Twitter at Milky Cereal 73. And stay up to date with my commentary. So that is your cup of tea. Or on the off chance, the ever so slight off chance you actually want to see some racing, go head on over to the ORL Split A, which is happening right now. It's on this channel, so if you go, I don't know, if you go to the ORL YouTube main channel thing, you'll see that Split A is happening right now. They're probably on lap 15 to lap 20, so they're in the closing stages of the race. So, if you go to Split A and watch the race there, you'll watch the better drivers racing, you'll finish the race, and then you can come back here to Split B for what will be the 4th attempt at a restart, because we all know the 3rd attempt is going to fail because Cody's. Do that. Or not. Or if you want to see Codemasters be Codemasters and a potential 3rd start to the race, let's be honest, everyone on the grid right now is an absolute expert at starting at Monza. I don't think there is anyone else in the world who has done more starts at Monza on F1 2019 than the 20 drivers, though. So, we're going to be in for a cracker of a first lap. And as I say that, I can hear a beep, 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 and you guys can hear a beep, beep. It means that drivers are getting ready to start the race. I hope my face has been entertaining, because it's about to be time to switch over, which, memorize this face. You're not going to be seeing it for a while. I apologize, but what can I do? And there we go. It's time to get ready for racing. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm trying my best. But what can you do sometimes? Hopefully, the lobby doesn't break again. I also hate how F1 I can't alt tab. If someone knows anyone in Codemasters, forget about fixing bugs. Can you do something so that I can alt tab while in spectator mode, change my stream without the game pausing? It means that I can actually stream races and do cool things, but I can't at the moment. Every time I try to do a cool thing, this happens. So yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine, without a doubt. Right, I need to work out where I want to notifications, because knowing this is going to be some notifications coming through, and then as a result, I'm not going to. Right. Have we seen more formation laps than actual racing? Potentially. Who knows? For those of you guys who are joining us, it is round 2 of ORL Season 12 Split B here at Monza in the beautiful outskirts of Tuscany, Italy. 8-round championship is ORL Season 12 Split B, and we are just at the dawning stages of the championship. Jan Feller leads the championship. I think he's been promoted to Split A as he deserved should be. Haas Esports driver. Andinator then effectively takes the lead of the championship after just one round at Suzuka. Ahead of Balash Kevin, Vito, Flexus Marcy, Verstappen, CEO, Palafutes, Zen Ame, and Rip SN in the constructors. Toro Rosso lead on 18 points by 1 point over Mercedes, for a further 5 points ahead of Racing Point, or just 2 points ahead of McLaren on 10 points place. Grid order for tonight is Balash Kevin starts on pole ahead of Triton Matthias. Harabukin in oh my god. Why is Matthias second? Okay, so we've already got 2 people having left the race because we have had a delayed start. Now the question is, who was that? Andinator is gone. And I don't know who else. Got both Ferraris, got I can't tell. Do we have both Toro Rossos? No, because Andinator was one of them. Well, Andinator should have been starting second. He's now not starting at all. Matthias lines up on the second row of the grid. So my prediction for the race is Matthias to win from Balash Kevin from Padlock days. Now, we've seen Verstappen get a great start previously, but this time he's starting on a different side of the track. So, you know, we said that these guys are experts, so Codemasters has thrown something into the mix, and now they're starting on different sides of the grid from Balash Kevin, from Matthias onwards. The lights go out. Can we actually go race? Yes, we can go racing. It's a great start from the Haas in the background. That's Soltis, who's going to slide up the field, heading down in towards turn 1. But take a look at Tarabukin. He's on the outside of Matthias into turn 1. Surely he's going to pick up he'll pick up second position. Side by side, can Matthias get the better drive? Oh, there's contact, Palafutes, and that was Flex's Verstappen, pardon me. Big contact between the two of them on the exit of turn 2. So that's a big cluster of cars. Ironwave and Leonard side by side into the Roche chicane. The contact between the two. Ironwave gets a compromised exit and is down into 7th as a CEO. Has a little think about going down the inside. Decides against it in the end. Now Soltis, he was a man with a flying side. He's up into 5th, which means that was a cracking start. We saw him get off the lines absolutely fantastically well. Up ahead, you can see Balash Kevin leading from Matthias with Tarabukin right on his tail. Balash Kevin already got over a second lead to Matthias as Palafutes and the Bird battling. Bird's into the wall. Has he lost the wheel? No, he has not. But look at that cluster of cars. Verstappen on the outside of Fekir down into Parabolica. This is absolutely crazy. Black Panthers on the outside of Flexus Marcy as Balash Kevin leads the way on lap 2 of 27. Will anyone dive into the pits? No, they will not. Verstappen picks up the position. Up ahead, you can see Palafutes in 11th place as Panthers getting a couple of lag spikes coming in. But look at Palafutes side by side with Beef down into turn 1 and 2. Beef holds the inside. And oh, there's contact. Beef squeezed Palafutes there, and Gelberwald's going to pick up the position. And Verstappen watches all of this unfold up ahead. Also, Tarabukin is right with Matthias here. No, he's fallen back. Palafutes has retired from the session, so there must have been more contact between the two of them. And Bird has left the session as well. We saw here's a crash on the exit of Ascari. Verstappen down into 12th place, and McLaren were looking for a solid result courtesy of Verstappen's strong qualifying, but it's all gone down the gutter. Leonard has disconnected from the session. Honestly, if we get another restart, I don't think I can do it. Gwenny on the back of Zenami down into Parabolica, really late on the brakes. There's almost contact between the two of them, but Hueni on those softer compound tires will find the traction, will pick up the position, but Zenami is not done yet. He's on those mediums, but he's going to have a go nonetheless. Looks through the outside as we start lap 3 of 27. Zenami will reclaim the position from Hueni. Leonard's been able to rejoin the session, so thankfully his disconnect won't cost him too much time. He's still in at 7th place. But right now it's a great result coming in from Haas, the 3rd and 5th. Williams as well, 2nd and 8th, as well as of course Mercedes. Balash Kevin leading the way with Zen Ame in the 2nd of the 2 Mercedes. Mercedes currently 2nd in the Constructors' Championship, so he will jump ahead of Toro Rosso as things stand, but Haas and Williams will gain some big inroads in the Constructors. It's looking a little bit overcast actually on the entry into Parabolica. I hope we don't have any rain, as that would really dampen spirits, dampen the racing. So Balash Kevin leads after 4 laps of 27 from Triton. Matthias Tarabukin in 3rd ahead of Scrippy and Soltis. And Wave in 6th ahead of MDCO, who has a Leonard right on his tail. Leonard has a reconnected and he's looking feisty on the back of CEO. No DRS down into the Roger chicane. Leonard, the back end just locking up a tiny bit. Might need to shift that brake balance to the forward ever so slightly. Also, Zen Ame has lost a position to Hueni, but he is on these medium tyres, is Zen Ame, so will be very strong in that 2nd and final stint of the races. He really cuts through Lesmo too. Oh, Scrippy has a moment. He goes sideways into the gravel. Can he stay out of the wall? Yes, he can, but that's Soltis up into 4th, and this is a big, big news for Haas. Just fairly standard stuff there as Leonard looks for the inside. He released off the throttle temporarily, but down the inside into the Parabolica. MDCO is going to hold it around the outside, and Ueni's got prime view of this. Leonard picks up 7th place, but CEO is going to slot in behind Leonard. Leonard has a DRS. CEO only has the slipstream. He's right on his tail, but every time he pulls out the slipstream, he just loses time. Leonard up into 7th place. Head of CEO with Hueni right on his tail, and Bushsteppen's found a way through on Zed Ame as well. But I don't think we're done in this battle for 4th place. Scrippy on the back of Soltis. But take a look at CEO. Leonard's disconnected, right? What a move by CEO, up into 7th place. Hueni and Bushsteppen will be looking to follow through on the racing point, and Hueni slides through the ghosting car of Leonard. I'm sorry, I've kind of lost the plot right now. Oh. And so we are down to 16 runners, 15 if you don't include Leonard's ghosting car. Delta 1 finds a way through 12. When he's going to have a DRS on MDCO down into turn 1. I'm Waver falling back from the Scrippy and Soltis in the battle for 3rd place as when he takes a look down the inside, but it's a 3 abreast. Bushsteppen on the grass, there's contact between them, and that's Bushsteppen going completely out wide. He'll be forced to cut the corner, but he drops so many places. MDCO down into 8th place, and Bushsteppen loses so much. This gets greedy and impatient, but Zename wants to have some fun with CEO, who squeezes him wide into the Roger chicane. That was a little bit dirty from CEO there, who locks up Hueni, runs wide, as does Zename, as does Gelberwand, and Verstappen will pick up the position. Everyone just following each other wide through the Roger chicane. That is absolutely nutty. Soltis on the back of Tarabukin, but we're going to take a quicker look back at that replay. So the drivers making their way down into... So here it is, MDCO squeezed Zename, but he did it a bit before Zename really looked for the inside, and everyone just locks up, runs wide. Zename gets on the gravel, Gelberwand gets even more to the gravel, and Verstappen picks up an easy 9th place from Zen. And actually, he's just got past Zen as well, so found a way through on Gelberwand, back pass on Zename, and Zoltis and Tarabukin, the two Haas drivers battling each other now for third. How difficult will they make it for each other? Tarabukin doesn't go defensive. Zoltis down the inside. Scrippy is just a little bit further behind, and he could look to join in the battle if these two really do have a scrap between themselves. Verstappen not out of contention for some big points. Leonard has just reconnected, but he's all the way down in 14th place right now. Also, Beef has joined in what is the long train that goes all the way up to 7th place. Flex and Marcy a further 2 seconds back, but he's on those medium tyres and did, of course, start further down the order as well. DRS train in the battle for 3rd place. Rippy behind Tarabukin. Very interesting braking point and turning point from break from side down into Ferrari. Trying to keep an eye on both battles happening right now. Verstappen really gets over the curve. MDCO runs wide, and Verstappen's going to close in on the back straight. He could have a go down into turn 1, but he absolutely needs to nail Parabolica. Down into 4th gear, 171 miles an hour, that minimum speed. Hueni runs wide, and this is good news for MDCO. These are the three that battled when Verstappen ran wide just 2 laps ago and saw him drop behind Zename and Gelberwand. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. We don't know what that is for, but MDCO looks for the inside. Verstappen this time will just sit behind. He's going to try to follow through side by side with Hueni on the outside. Can he find the traction? I think he cannot, but he's got the inside into Curva Grande. Hueni tries to squeeze Verstappen, but Verstappen has none of it. Verstappen slides up into 8th place, and Zename might look to follow through. Hueni will be forced to slot into 9th place into the Roger chicane. Beef on the back of Gelberwand as they make their way down the straight into Ascari. Beef has a look for the inside. He picks up the position. The job well done. But Gelberwand will look for the fight back as we make our way down into the Parabolica. Scrippy is very close to Tarabukin, so we're going to switch over to that in just a second. Beef holds on to 11th place, but take a look at this battle. Tarabukin on the back of Zoltis. Balashkevin leads from Matthias as Tarabukin goes down the inside, picks up a P3. And Scrippy's just waiting for that opportune moment to be able to count on both of these Haas drivers, as Verstappen has found a way through on MDCO up into 7th place. And that is good news for the McLaren man. But take a look, Flex and Marcy is on the back of Leonard in the battle for 12th. And McLaren, they want to pick up some decent points. They're sitting 4th in the championship right now. Actually, I'm forgetting who is a factory driver for the teams and who is just a reserve, as Beef's gone sideways. So Beef must have made contact with Gelberwand. No, Gelberwand's gone into the pits, so Beef did that all on his own. MDCO is not done with Verstappen just yet, as we are about to start lap at 10 of 27, and this is the point where we're going to start to see soft tyre runners starting to come into the pits, although because we got a remade lobby drive starting on those fresh soft tires, so I'm thinking it's going to be more around that lap of 12 or pointless tires. Should be able to go at least another 2 laps further. They would have been starting on 0% old tires rather than, 10, 12% old tires. Matthias into the pits very early on. Balázs Kevin will just be able to push for a little bit longer. Verstappen covered the inside initially, moves to the outside. MDCO too far back to have a lunge into the Rettifilio chicane. Let's see where Beef is going to feed out. Sorry, Gelber one. Going to come out ahead of Beef, who had that incident. Leonard is just coming through there. Beef actually is going to come out ahead of Gelber one. No, just behind. Okay. So that mistake from Beef has proved costly in this battle for 13th place. As, oh no, Matthias with a 3-second time penalty. That is not good for the Williams man. And that's really going to affect him in the battle with Balázs Kevin for the win. Let's see if Kevin comes into the pits this time round, as MDCO is kind of close to Verstappen. But Scholtes is still on the back of Tarabukin, and we know how well DRS trains can work here at Monza. Kevin Tarabukin into the pits. Verstappen and CEO will come in as well, but Scholtes stays out, and I think that is, well, he kind of had to stay out because he's teammates with Tarabukin, so they can't both come into the pits at the same time. And Scholtes leads for the first time in season 12. Verstappen comes out ahead of the CEO, and he should be able to pull out a bit of a gap, as that's Iron Wave just ahead. Where's Hueni? He's going to come out just ahead of MDCO. Very close between the Williams and the Alfa, but Hueni with the undercut is able to make the job stick. Verstappen runs wide into turn 1, and this might give Hueni an early chance to capitalize and pounce and pick up this P9. Tarabukin on the back of Scrippy, so Scrippy has found a way through on Tarabukin with the undercut, and now Scrippy just needs to push and try to stretch out a lead to the Haas's. Scholtes will be coming into the pits this time round. Zen Ame and Flexus Marcia, I'm expecting the pits at lap 15 from them, maybe lap 16 if they really want to push those medium tyres. But I'm fairly confident it's going to be lap 15. Now, Balázs Kevin is on the back of Tristan Matthias. Actually, Matthias, with the undercut, he's come out ahead of Balázs Kevin, but of course he does have that 3-second time penalty. The question also is going to be, where does Scholtes feed out relative to Scrippy and Tarabukin? Balázs Kevin on the back of Matthias as we start lap 12 of 27. Balázs Kevin, is he close enough? No, he is not, but take a look at Scholtes. He's going to come out behind Tarabukin, but he's on the fresher tyres of the 3. By the 3, we're talking about Scrippy, Tarabukin, and Scholtes. Many on the back of Verstappen, who, to be fair to Verstappen, is closing in onto Iron Wave in the battle for 8th place. Good stuff from him, as Tarabukin is close onto Scrippy. Scholtes is outside of that 1-second DRS zone, currently 1.4 seconds behind Tarabukin. As that gap yo-yos backwards and forwards. Scrippy runs a little bit wide through Lesmo 1 as Rennie picks up a 3-second time penalty. Somehow we haven't seen any 5-second penalties for speeding into the pit lane, but Tarabukin on the back of Scrippy down the back straight. Oh no, actually Tarabukin's going to back out of that one. Wants to step behind. I think he wants to make the move work into turn 1 rather than anywhere else. Balázs Kevin on the back of Matthias, who is closing in onto Flex and Marcy, but I'm not going to lie, Zen Ame is in a very strong position right now. He won't pick up the win, but I actually think he's an outside contender to take P3 here. Balázs Kevin though on the back of Matthias, he has a bit of a lift and he's just going to sit behind Matthias for now. So clearly Balázs Kevin not in any hurry, just wants to sit behind the Williams driver, just to let him do all the hard work, as Verstappen finds a way through on Iron Wave, who's really struggling, losing a hell of a lot of time every lap, and Verstappen already found a way through up into 8th. That being said, though, Verstappen got in a crazy lap. He's pulled a second to any that time around. Pardon me. Wave gets a 3-second time penalty. Balashevin on the back of Matthias, but once again, no way through into Ascari. They'll be forced to slot in behind. Oh, Balashevin takes a little bit more curb than Matthias and unsettles the car that little bit. They head down towards the Parabolica. Balashevin, he's just saving up that ERS, running in a zero fuel mix. Zero ERS, he's probably in low fuel mix as well, and just saving it all up so that when he does find the move on a Matthias, he can just put everything up to max. A rich overtake, maybe even a hot lap, and just absolutely gun for it. Look at that, he's running in no ERS and he's lifting off. He just does not want to pass Matthias yet. Matthias, though, to be fair, is keeping his ERS at about 60%. Matthias closing in onto Flex's Marcy, and if Marcy doesn't pit this lap, I'm sure Matthias will probably be finding a way through on Marcy at some point on lap 15. Which is when we do expect those medium tyre runners to be coming into the pits. As Scrippy and Soltis goes down the inside, and Scrippy's been falling back, so he hasn't been able to keep things going on these medium tyres. Not able to match the pace of the Haas's, pitting those that lap earlier than Tarabukin, 2 laps earlier than Soltis has not paid out for him. And sure, he got the undercut to work, but after that there's been nothing for him at all. Matthias on the back of Marcy, and as we said, Matthias will do it down into turn 1. Balashevin has to turn up his ERS just that little bit because Matthias now has got a McLaren between himself and the Mercedes of Kevin. I'm sure Kevin should be able to dispense with Marcy somewhat quickly, as I'm sure Matthias knows that this is his opportunity to really push. Panther has left the session. Marcy will go defensive. Balashevin looks towards the outside. Around the outside, sweeps around, picks up the position, jobs a good one. Then I'm a 6.6 seconds ahead of Matthias. The pit stop here at Monza is a fairly long, I think it's about 25 seconds, so it is a fairly short pit. Great, now I want to take a look at Hueni, who's right on the back of Iron Wave, who is really falling back, and that's Williams down the inside. CEO picks up 10th place. Iron Wave has a bit of an issue. CEO looks for the Lewis Hamilton move, decides against it, and Hueni is forced to slot behind as Marcy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Iron Wave does not go defensive, and Hueni has nowhere really to go. He's just going to have to follow CEO through up into 10th place. As I press screenshot instead of Twitch Drive, and that almost gave me a heart attack. Matthias sets the new fast lap of the race. He did get a very nice DRS from Flex's Marcy. Then Ame stays out 1 lap longer, so he's really going to be able to push on those soft tyres. But I do want to see where Flex's Marcy comes out. How close will he be to Leonard? Not that close. He's going to be ahead of Beast. Gelberwand. Can he come out ahead of Gelberwand? No, he cannot. So Flex's Marcy has some work to do, but don't forget, Zename was 6 seconds further up the road, so Zename is going to be coming out right on the tail of Leonard. In fact, he'll probably come out alongside Leonard. But it's going to be very, very close to pulling away from Rennie that little bit as Harabukin is on the back of Soltis, and these two horses are working absolutely fantastically so far this race. We saw the Ferraris giving each other slipstream in qualifying the Haas's, so they've got their race strategy down to a T. And that is then Ame into the pits. Soltis goes defensive, and that will be Tarabukin looking towards the outside. Gelbawand retires from the session, promoting Vex's Marcy up into 12th. Tarabukin takes the final podium point spot as here comes Zen Ame. He's going to be so close. Actually, he's going to come out alongside I'm Wave, so virtual safety car, and Zen Ame comes out just ahead of I'm Wave. That was crucial for him. Okay, Balash Kevin is leading the race right now, and it looks like we are underway once again. Zen Ame picks a 3-second time penalty. With the battle for first, at least on track, as Tarabukin picks up a 3-second time penalty. And he is the only man of the top 6, with the exception of Matthias, who has taken a penalty, as Hueni gets his second of the race. Hey Panzer, who's that into the pits? That is Fakir. Soltis could look for a go on Tarabukin down into turn 1. He goes for the inside. Tarabukin later on to the brakes, though, on that grippy outside of the circuit, as then Ame and Hueni battling. And Hueni will lose the position. Then Ame just sweeps through on the inside down into turn 1. Now all of a sudden Scrippy is closing back into this battle against the Haas's. They've been battling for a bit, so maybe they've worn their tyres out a little bit more than they would have wanted to. But keep an eye out on Zen Ame, as he's going to be flying on those fresh soft tyres. I think he could get at least 6. Then we'll see if he can close in onto Scrippy, Soltis and Tarabukin. Here we go, Zen Ame round the outside, picks up the position with the DRS very comfortably. The fresh soft versus old mediums is going to be Zen Ame's race, or Zen Ame's position all day long. Soltis will look for the move on Tarabukin, goes down the inside. The position nice and comfortably. Then Ame gets a fast lap of the race. That's going to be an extra point going his way, as Hueni and I'm Wave have a bit of a battle. They're weaving on the straight as well to try to break the slipstream from each other. But it's not going to work. CEO picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's going to be a corner cut through turn 1. Doesn't get the best of runs from Roger Chicane. Keep going a little bit sideways. Throws it in burst mode 2. Still got 8 and a bit laps remaining here at Monza. Eye on Zen Ame and how quickly he closes in onto Verstappen here. When he's on the back of Iron Wave, we've seen these two have a bit of a ding-dong battle for a while. When he's closing right up to the back of Wave through Parabolica. We'll have DRS as usual, as Matthias is fairly close to Balash Kevin, but not as close as Sueni is to Wave, as he sweeps past on the outside of start-finish straight. Absolutely nothing Iron Wave can do about this, and this is a battle for those final couple of points, so, you know, honour at the stake, and of course championship points at stake as well. And Leonard will be wanting to join the fun. He's been having issues of his own, constantly disconnecting As there's a yellow flag. What's happened here? Soltis and Tarabukin have made contact. That is through the Roger chicane. And it promotes Scrippy up into 4th place. Then Ame is closing in onto Verstappen with every lap. The gap is now just 1.8 seconds. It was almost 3 seconds, I think 2 laps to go. So let's see how long Zen Ame can keep this pace going. As 4th place is a possibility. Verstappen picks up a time penalty. Here we go, Leonard, Hueni and Ironwave in the battle for 9th place. Hueni on the tail, oh, he runs wide through Parabolica. Leonard's going to be able to squeeze his way through. They're practically side by side. Hueni has DRS, but so does Leonard. Double DRS, Ironwave's going to be a sitting duck here to both of them. Leonard goes past, Hueni goes past. Could Hueni look for the inside into one? No, he cannot, as beat up a time penalty. Then I'm a 1.2 seconds behind. Let's see if he can get to within 1 second of Verstappen this time round, as all the gaps starting to spread out across the field. Balash, Kevin and Matthias still having their own battle here. Nose to tail as they make their way into Ascari. Don't forget, Matthias has a 3-second time penalty and Balash Kevin does not. So they're racing purely for pride at the moment. Is too far away from make a move, but Hueni is all over the back of Leonard. And he's dragging Ironwave along with him, but we've got to have a move for the lead of the race. Matthias goes down the inside, and there's nothing Kevin can do against the overspeed of DRS. It's Matthias up into the lead of the race. Oh, Soltis, I thought it might have had a go. What about Hueni? Gonna have a go at Leonard. Leonard, when did he go up into 9th place? I have no idea. Leonard slots right back in behind Hueni Ironwave, and not going to be able to find a way past the pink Sport Pezza Racing Point car. Leonard's going to have to wait for next lap to find a way back up in 9th place. Now the question is, can Matthias stretch out 3 seconds? Or I should say, 2 and a bit seconds. He has saved up some ERS. We could go for the push right now. We don't know what the fuel situation is for these guys. Then Ame within half a second of Verstappen now. Soltis having a little look at Scrippy. Oh! Soltis has a massive moment with the back end. Leonard and Hueni battling. Leonard picks up P9 into Ascari. What about Zen Ame? On the back of Verstappen, we're not going to be able to do anything down into the Parabolica. Got DRS, but he's not going to be able to make anything work this time around. The Soltis picks up P4 from Scrippy. The more these guys battle, the better it is for Zen Ame and Verstappen. Verstappen now within a second of Scrippy. That's going to help him in the defense from Zen Ame as Hueni goes down the inside. CEO picks up a time penalty as well. That's his second of the race, but it is Hueni. He claims a 9th place. Then Ame has a look down the inside and will pick up the position. Oh, that's a corner cut from Verstappen. Surely he has to yield that place. There is no way he can be allowed to hold on to that. That is outrageous. I'm sure you can say that, yeah, Verstappen was squeezed, but you're on the outside. It's Zen Ame's right to squeeze. And that being said, Zen Ame didn't even squeeze that hard. So, Verstappen, honestly, if he doesn't give that place back, I think there should be a post-race penalty going his way for that. Hueni and Leonard, though, they're still battling. And it's Ironwave who's up into 9th, so no idea what's happened between those two. Leonard could have a little go at Hueni into Parabolica. He's right on his tail. Yellow on that fuel meter. You see that in your bottom right corner. Leonard late on the brakes. Hueni later, but Hueni runs wide, and this is going to give Leonard a peak opportunity to pick up the position. They come out side by side onto the start-finish straight. Both of them have a DRS, but whose is stronger? Leonard on the back of Hueni has the slipstream. Oh, change of positioning. We'll take a look at that on the replay. But Leonard round the outside into turn 1 will pick up a 10th place. Beautifully done. Then Ame on the back of Verstappen here. So let's just quickly take a little look at the replay then. So here you go, side by side. I just want to take a look at the switch from Hueni. So just keep an eye on Hueni's car, because Leonard goes to the inside. Hueni, okay, so it was fine. It was just a little bit of a late move as we go back to our live status here. Scrippy having a look at Soltis, who doesn't have any DRS down into Ascari. Not going to be able to make anything. Fakir picks up a 3-second time penalty. I'm Wave, Leonard and Hueni all still battling, and Flex's Marcia's joined the fun. He's on those soft tires, so he should be able to pick up a P9 from all of them as Verstappen goes down the inside of Scrippy. Oh, there's contact, and Zename will say, that's a karma for you. And he picks up 6th place. He's on the back of Scrippy as well. He's got the DRS, but so does Scrippy. We start lap at 25 of 27. Balish Kevin's close to Matthias, but not able to find a move as we make our way down into turn 1. Scrippy looks for the inside. Potential dive coming in from Verstappen. I think that was contact between Soltis and Scrippy, and Scrippy does not get the drive on the inside of turn 2. Soltis takes P4, but it's Zename in the Mercedes on the back of the Haas. Will look for the outside on the exit of Curva Grande. He's got the inside heading now down. Oh, that's a super late on the brakes. Zename, he gets it stopped in time. Oh, there's contact, and the Haas goes wide. There's contact with Verstappen, who's forced out wide as well. Yellow flag coming through. Zename drops down to 5th place, but he's got Verstappen in front. Hueni picks up a time penalty. Let's see what's going on here. Leonard having to let I'm wave through, and Hueni just slotting in right behind. Absolutely crazy scene. So let's take a look at this then. Zename on the back of Soltis through Curva Grande. He looks for the inside, but he just breaks so late, and he runs wide. He holds it, but he bounces across the curb. And I just think that was a mispositioning there. It was a racing incident. Unfortunate, but Soltis should not have positioned his car there. It was always going to end badly. Hueni on the back of Iron Wave. We make our way down into Parabolica. Balash Kevin has just found a way through on Matthias as Hueni goes down the inside into Parabolica. Will he squeeze Iron Wave? Not really. And this is going to give Leonard a great chance to pull away. And look at Flex's Marcy right on the tail. Zename and Verstappen are side by side. Verstappen's going to get the better drive. What's going on down here? Oh, there's contact. Hueni's into the wall. And that is disastrous for the Alfa Romeo man. Flex's Marcy will look for the double switchback. He'll pick up the position on Leonard. Will he be able to get the drive onto I'm Wave? They're side by side. Meanwhile, up ahead, Zename and Verstappen. What's happened to Verstappen? He's gone sideways. He's into the wall, and that is a bad news for him. Leonard slots in behind I'm Wave, and that's one McLaren down the gutter. Who will promote Flex's Marcy into the top at 10. Zename up into 4th, but Triton, Matthias and Balish Kevin are battling. Now we've got time just to take a quick look at this replay here. And Verstappen's been disqualified. That promotes Zename up a position, and that is Hueni into the wall there. Now, Matthias, as we start the final lap of the race, can he have any go at Balash Kevin into turn 1? They'll both want bragging rights. Balash Kevin will not go defensive. Matthias down the inside, super late on the brakes. He picks up the position. Balash Kevin looks for the cutback. It's a decent run, but is it good enough? Flex's Marcy is all over the back of Leonard, who's on the back of I'm Away, but we're not focusing on that. We're all focused on the battle for the lead of the race. This could end in tears. Matthias goes down the inside into the Roger chicane, but Balash Kevin will get the better drive. But Matthias just kind of parks it on the apex. He moves to the inside down into Lesmo 1. Balash Kevin gets a better run. Can he go for the Lewis Hamilton move? No, he cannot. Matthias holds on to the lead for now. As Flex's Marcy, he's picked up 8th position. Zen Ame will take 4th, but I think Scrippy will jump ahead after time penalties. Balash Kevin, though, he's not done yet. He looks for the outside, down into Ascari. Late on the brakes, there's contact between the two of them. But Balash Kevin picks up the position beautifully. Oh, Matthias, don't throw it away there. That got so close. His back end was all over the place. Balash Kevin is weaving, trying to break that slipstream just a little bit. But Balash Kevin has done an absolutely fantastic battle on this final lap between the two of them. Balash Kevin will take the win ahead of Matthias. It is going to be MD CEO. Oh, Matthias will cross the line. Okay, he did it at the right time. Good job, Matthias. I thought he had just ruined it. Tarabukin will take P3. What about Zen Ame? He's weaving. Stop weaving, dude. He's got Scrippy on his tail. Scrippy will take P3. Zen Ame will take P5. Not quite close enough. What about MDCO? He takes 7th. The Saltis will jump ahead. What about Flex's Marcy? 1.3 behind. Ironwave takes 9th ahead of Hueni. And what will Hueni be able to jump ahead? No, Hueni's got quite a few time penalties himself. Oh, what a crazy battle. Whew. I think I deserve some water. Wouldn't you guys agree? Oh, holy molies. Let me know, guys, in your chat, who is your driver of the day? I think I'm going to give it either to Zen Ame or that man there, your Mercedes, your race winner, Balash Kevin. Who had a fantastic battle with Matthias. There's a reason these guys were split A drivers last season, but Zen Ame, fantastic comeback on those soft tires, showing how to execute that alternate strategy. So let's take a look then. Balash Kevin takes a win ahead of Matthias. Gribby takes P3 ahead of Tarabukin. Zen Ame, couple of penalties too much, otherwise he could have picked up that P3. Saltis takes a P6 for Haas. It's a good result for Haas and for Mercedes. MDCO takes 7th, makes it a good running for Williams as well. Flex's Marcy, the best performing McLaren after that very unfortunate moment for Verstappen in the final moments. Time Wave takes P9 ahead of Leonard in P10. And I think because apparently no one else can do it, we need to go through here for post-race bidding stuff. There you go. Cool. All done. And on that note, that is kind of it. And welcome back to Milky Cereal's Face. So thank you guys very much for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you. Shame we had a couple of restarts and we couldn't get underway straight away. But for all of you guys who were able to make it to the end of the race, congratulations. You've done a great job. Get yourself a biscuit. However, that has been round 2 of the championship. It is going to be Balash Kevin takes the lead of the championship ahead of, I believe it's going to be Jan Feller and Andinator in 3rd after Andinator would have had a strong result, but couldn't stay for the 3rd races. It got that little bit too late. Sadly, we can't do any interviews as we're not in the chat or Discord. So that is all that we have time for. Thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to tune in make sure to follow Team ORL on Twitter at team_ORL. You can follow myself. I've been Yusuf Milky Cereal. Bin Sahel, you can catch me at Milky Cereal 73. It's been a pleasure to have you. Stay fast. Always wash your hands. And we will see you next week. Good night.